Welcome back to Magic Book. Today, we're diving into a brand new, original story. Get comfortable, because this one's a roller coaster. Before, Emma was a happy girl. She lived a carefree life in a cute little house with a garden. A place she'd inherited from her grandmother. Life was good. She ate cookies, hung out with friends, and belonged only to herself. That was all before she married David. Or, as her late grandmother would have put it, before she jumped into it. Emma met her future husband through work. She went to his small agency to order a campaign for a new residential complex, being built by the company she worked for. Emma was a pretty, natural blonde with an easygoing personality and a figure untouched by diets. She wasn't overweight, just curvy appealing, really, like a lot of girls. David, the gallant and stylish owner of the agency, swept Emma, who was pretty naive about matters of the heart, off her feet. It was practically love at first sight, completely dazzled by what she thought was otherworldly male beauty and charm. Emma spilled everything on their very first date. She told him all the details a man might want to know, making sure to mention her grandmother's house. David was an ambitious young man, seeing this naive heiress to a valuable property, who also had a good job at a major construction firm. He decided, I need to lock this down, or else some other guy will snatch up this clueless girl and her inheritance. So, around their 10th date, standing at an ice cream stand, David casually asked, Hey, kitten, want to get married? Emma was busy buying ice cream for herself and her man, so the question, though desired, caught her completely off guard. Her big, cornflower blue eyes got even wider as she stared at him. Even the vendor, who'd never seen a proposal before, froze, watching eagerly for the answer. Yes, let's do it, Yade. Emma beamed, throwing her arms around David and smearing ice cream all over his jacket. Watch it, clumsy, he muttered in response to her happy squeal. Sorry, I guess you'll have to take it to the dry cleaner yourself, Emma giggled, pressing her face into her fiancé's shoulder, bursting with happiness. As they walked away, the vendor leaned out of her window, waving a large bill. Miss, you forgot your change. You gave me too much. Happy Emma looked back and replied, Keep it. It's my lucky day. The treat's on me. The vendor smiled, watching the handsome couple, happy to have been touched by their joy. She looked at the money and thought, maybe I'll go to the movies. Maybe I'll meet someone, too. Emma and David got married quietly. So quietly that when Emma showed up at work with a ring on her finger and a new last name, the whole office was shocked. Ho, you little secret keeper, exclaimed a coworker, practically examining the marriage certificate under a microscope. So, you eloped, didn't tell a soul? Did your best friend even know? Emma just shrugged. Her best friend, Chloe, who also happened to be her colleague and sat right across from her, had never really seen eye to eye with David. Can't you see he's after something? Chloe had asked when Emma first told her about David. Why else would he propose so fast, and so unromantically? Emma had waved it off. What could he possibly want from me? I'm not rich. Come meet him. You'll see how great my David is. He's so smart. He started his own business from nothing, sold his car and his mom's apartment to invest in it. He is his own agency now. He's crashing with a friend for now, but it's temporary. And where does his mother live now? Chloe asked with a smirk. With his grandmother. I think, Emma shrugged. Haven't met her yet, but it'll happen. Knowing she couldn't change her friend's mind, but understanding she needed protection, Chloe agreed to meet David at Emma's house. She saw right through him, though, noticing how David's eyes kept appraising the house and its layout rather than looking at Emma. Chloe bluntly called him out, which sent him into a rage and left Emma in shock. Get out, he hissed, red-faced. Nobody asked for your opinion. Emma, are you kicking me out too? Chloe asked, looking directly at her friend. Emma looked down and mumbled, as if reading a script, we think you're just jealous of my happiness. Furious, Chloe looked from Emma to the man who had clearly put those words in her mouth. Fine, I get it. Good luck. But Emma, when he's taken you for everything you've got, don't come crying to me. And she left, leaving a bitter taste in Emma's confused soul. She genuinely felt sorry for her offended friend, but losing her beloved was unthinkable. Chloe wasn't invited to the tiny, 8-person wedding, and now, Emma was too ashamed to admit to her colleagues that her best friend knew nothing about it. Emma went to her desk, sitting across from Chloe, who pretended not to know, even though the whole department was buzzing about Emma's sudden marriage. Hi, Chloe. Emma offered a weak smile, tired of the silly feud. "Hello," Chloe replied curtly, not looking up from her spreadsheet. That meant one thing. Surrender was not accepted. The Cold War would continue until Chloe's hurt faded. And how long can a woman's hurt feelings last? No one knows. It's a law of nature. Emma didn't push it. So, when David started talking about selling Emma's house, there was no one left to defend the naive girl who looked at her new husband with starry eyes. Her grandmother's house, with its gorgeous garden and wrought iron fence, built to last centuries, was sold for a tidy sum. It bought them a spacious new apartment and a brand new foreign car for David. Emma got a small pair of white gold earrings with tiny sapphires that matched her eyes. David put the apartment in his name. When Emma hesitantly asked why, he stroked her hand and said, "It's just simpler this way, kitten. When we have kids, we'll need to sell and buy something bigger. It's easier with one owner, fewer questions, right?" The mention of kids melted Emma's heart. She wanted a baby so badly. "Oh, sorry, honey." She perked up. "I didn't think of that. Whatever you think is best. Look, if you don't trust me, I can call my lawyer and put your name on it right now," David offered. No, I trust you. Forget it," Emma insisted, waving her hands, instantly regretting bringing it up. For 6 months, Emma floated on cloud 9, enjoying marriage and completely forgetting her friend, and also forgetting that her boss was always out to get her. David, however, was focused. His business boomed, partly because, with Emma's help, all the ad work for her construction company was funneled through his agency. He needed a bigger office and more staff. His status rose, and he became more meticulous about his appearance. The first to burst Emma's bubble was her husband. "Hey, ever think about joining a gym? Looks like married life is catching up with you." Naive Emma took it as a joke. "Oh, when would I have time? I get up so early for the bus since you don't drive me, then I'm stuck late because of my boss. And I have the whole house to run. By the time I get to the gym, I just lie down on the mat and fall asleep. I don't drive you because it's out of my way," David said curtly. "Fine. Don't go. I'm heading for a run." Later, Emma thought he seemed annoyed, but felt she was the one who should be annoyed. She made tea and settled into her comfy chair to watch her favorite show. Trying to unwind from her tyrannical boss, she thought about grabbing a piece of chocolate cake, but opted for marshmallows instead, convincing herself it was fewer calories. She almost called Chloe to complain after all. Her husband had basically called her fat but then remembered they weren't speaking. Too bad, she sighed. That would have been a good one. She missed Chloe more and more every day, especially when dealing with their boss, Mrs. Whitmore. They used to handle her together. Everyone in the office knew Mrs. Whitmore, wife of one of the directors, took bribes and padded her expense reports. She'd shove these fake reports at Emma and Chloe at the very end of the day, hoping they'd be too tired and rush to spot the discrepancies that could cost them their jobs. Or worse. "That's why Emma works so late. Let's just tell the board about her," Chloe would often say. "No way," Emma would reply. "Her husband's on it. You think he doesn't know? We'd be the ones fired." So they double-check each other's work. But now, with their friendship on ice, Mrs. Whitmore sensed weakness and flooded them with fake reports. Anyone who'd complained before was fired without severance, scaring everyone else into silence. David knew all about her work troubles from her complaints, but did nothing to help. One evening, exhausted and fed up, Emma said, "David, please find me a job. I can't take it anymore. Mrs. Whitmore treats us like slaves, and Chloe won't even talk to me. I'm constantly terrified of being set up." David reluctantly put down his phone, where he'd been texting with a smile. "What can I do?" "Hire me at your agency," Emma pleaded. "You said you needed an accountant." "Well, here I am." The smile vanished. "I already hired one 3 days ago. Can't fire him now. What would people think? And anyway, I pay him less than you make. Can't you hang in there a little longer?" Emma looked at him, hurt. "I'm your respectable client, remember? Your agency gets those big contracts because of me, so I should just suffer." "Who are you texting anyway?" "While I'm talking to you, the accountant," David said quickly, putting the phone away. "Right," Emma said skeptically, heading to the kitchen to find the energy to make dinner. Across town, David's accountant, a model named Vanessa, was annoyed that her lover had suddenly ghosted their chat. She'd met David at a restaurant he frequented to, as he put it, maintain his image. He loved his image more than anything. "Have to stay late again tomorrow," He'd sigh dramatically to Emma. Dinner with clients. Don't wait up. He'd shuffle around, pretending to be exhausted by these burdensome business dinners. And Emma would feel sorry for him, even polishing his shoes so he'd look good. Meanwhile, he'd be out partying with friends. One such evening, Vanessa approached him at a club. Ladies' choice, she purred, batting her big brown eyes at him. Few men could resist this tall, stunning brunette, the complete opposite of Emma. Wine, music, and her beauty went to David's head. He boasted about his agency, how successful he was, how he had everything under control. Vanessa laughed, they danced, and David was smitten. That night, he didn't come home. I'm drunk, kitten, he texted Emma. Staying at my buddy Victor's place. Don't wait up. Emma stared at her phone, dumbfounded. She had to believe him, couldn't exactly call this mysterious Victor who, in reality, didn't exist. We'll see about that, she muttered, determined to find out who this Victor was. David, having spent the night with Vanessa, killed two birds with one stone. Got a mistress and found a new model for his ads. He didn't know Vanessa already had a boyfriend, but he saved her number in his phone as Victor, just in case. Emma, also just in case, saved the number as Victor too. For a month, they met almost daily. When bored, David texted Vanessa, which was what Emma had caught him doing. It's safe to say Emma's problems didn't concern him, and he couldn't hire her. Terrified his wife and mistress might meet. Finally, Vanessa got impatient. Like a fury, she cornered him in the restaurant. When are you telling your wife about us? You promised you'd leave her. What? Can't handle it. David, never one to back down from a challenge and embarrassed by the public scene, promised he'd handle it. But, sober and back to his senses, the cunning man didn't want to leave comfortable Emma, nor break up with beautiful Vanessa. So, after dropping his mistress off, he bought Emma's favorite cake, the one she loved, and hurried home, whistling. But the miracle didn't happen. He couldn't have it both ways. He was met by a tearful Emma, phone in hand. What's wrong? Work again? He asked, annoyed. Your friend called, Emma said quietly, looking him in the eye. David looked away. Who? Victor. David flinched. Emma continued. Your Victor said you to love each other and you're going to divorce me. Is that true? What's her real name? David hung his head. Vanessa. Emma gave a bitter laugh. Well, your Vanessa is very smart. She was right. You are getting a divorce. Tomorrow, I'm filing. You betrayed me. David held out the cake, trying to joke. Let's just forget it. We had 3 good years, right? Kitten. Let's have some tea. Emma was stunned. Are you insane? What tea? You had an affair. She says you have serious plans. You never loved me. I was just convenient. No. David, I won't be used anymore. Get out of my house. Finally seeing his submissive wife grow a spine, David dropped the mask. Fine. You know what? I'm sick of you. I'm embarrassed to be seen with you. You're frumpy. You have no taste. Vanessa is a beauty. We look great together. And this apartment? It's mine. The car's mine. You're left with nothing, Cinderella. See ya. Loser. He kicked the door open and left. Furious and hurt, Emma opened the window and hurled the cake at his pristine car. It splattered all over the hood and windshield. You're crazy, he screamed, shaking his fist before speeding off. The next month, Emma was in a fog. No appetite, no self-care. She'd mechanically do her work, come home, grab a tub of ice cream or a pastry, and watch TV, eating without a thought. Her figure suffered as much as her spirit. People at work whispered she might be pregnant. Mrs. Whitmore fumed at the prospect of another maternity leave. Chloe noticed the changes, but stayed silent, the coldness between them still there. Emma wanted to make up, but dreaded hearing I told you so. A week later, ironically, David himself snapped her out of it. Hey, kitten, he said sweetly, as if nothing happened. I was thinking, we shouldn't have parted like that. Maybe you could move out of my apartment. It's too big for you alone. His casual cruelty was a knife to her heart, but she held back tears. And where would I go? David shrugged. Not my problem. You're a big girl. Maybe you could stay at Vanessa's studio. Plenty of room for one. The word one stung. Without a word, she went to her room. Is that a yes? He called after her. No answer. Crazy, he muttered and left. Emma looked in the mirror and saw a sad, slightly plump, unkempt but still pretty young woman. Who did I let myself go for? What a coward. she scolded herself. My mom raised me to be happy, so I will be happy. Forget David. She looked around the neglected apartment. A month until the court hearing. Time to get her act together. She deep cleaned the apartment and signed up for Pilates. 2 days before court, slimmer and brighter, she went to a boutique after work. She'd always admired their dresses, a thought she'd never fit into them. Now, she walked in confidently. That blue one, please. Within half an hour, she walked out proudly with 3 shopping bags. The court date was set for the same time. She had to submit reports to Mrs. Whitmore. Wearing her new blue dress, she confronted her boss. I have court. I need 2 hours off, Mrs. Whitmore eyed her through her glasses. 2 hours, not maternity leave. Go on. Don't bother coming back today. Her unusual generosity surprised Emma. It didn't alarm her, which was a mistake. After she left, Mrs. Whitmore falsified Emma's reports and forged her signature. But Emma's guardian angel was watching. Chloe noticed the switch and took the real documents from the secretary after Mrs. Whitmore left. You'll get fired, the secretary whispered. Scared. So be it. Better than Emma go into jail, Chloe replied, handing over the corrected report she'd quickly redone. File this, or she'll ruin us all. Emma, unaware of Chloe's sacrifice, was staring at David, who'd arrived arm in arm with Vanessa. For the first time, she got a good look at her rival. Vanessa wore a revealing outfit, a crop top, and a skirt so short it looked like a belt. Heavy makeup completed the picture. David also stared at his transformed wife, surprised. Emma looked lovely in the blue dress that matched her eyes. Her hair in a neat low bun with loose curls framing her face. Makeup minimal. You said she was fat? Vanessa announced loudly, catching the judge's ear. The judge, a woman herself, glanced from Vanessa, draped all over David, to Emma, sitting quietly. All right, your turn, the judge said to David flatly. He pointed at Emma, accusing her of everything under the sun, arguing the apartment and car were his. Then Emma spoke. I don't know what to say, Your Honor. They say love lasts 3 years. We were married that long. I guess the warranty expired. A small laugh rippled through the room. Even the judge smiled. While awaiting the verdict, Emma mentally prepared to be homeless, while David smirked, confident in his win. But when the judge announced the decision, his smirk vanished. All assets, including the car, were to be split 50-50ths. What? Now you have to share with her. Vanessa whined. Good thing you put your business in my name, or she'd get half of that too. Can you believe her nerve? David hushed her. Emma felt a huge weight lift. She wouldn't be homeless. She didn't care about David's business. I don't need what's not mine, she thought, walking out a free woman. Rounding the corner, David grabbed her arm roughly. Think you won, you little sneak? I'll make your life hell. I'll pay you for your half of the car in tiny installments for the next 5 years. And the apartment? Sell me your share cheap, or deal with tenants. How much for my half? Emma asked. He named a ridiculously low price. That's a joke. I can't even buy a closet for that. Have a heart, David. Just give me the money from my grandmother's house, and the apartment's yours. David just laughed and flipped her off, sauntering off to his car. Emma stood in shock. The fun life had begun. Her morning started with a nasty surprise. In the bathroom, face covered in soap, she heard the front door unlock and heavy footsteps. I just mopped. David, have some decency, she yelled, storming out in her short robe, face full of suds. It wasn't David, but a strange man surrounded by people, all staring at her. Help! Robbers! Emma shrieked, dashing into her bedroom and locking the door. What is this? Who is this crazy woman? A woman demanded of the man with the keys. The man dropped them. I don't know. The client said it was empty, that he was the sole owner. After some frantic furniture moving to barricade the door, the man knocked. Ma'am, sorry to scare you. David listed this apartment for sale and asked me to show it. I'm a realtor, Mr. Evans. Here's my card. He slid it under the door. A few minutes later, Emma emerged in a tracksuit, holding a baseball bat, soap still on her red face. You might want to wash that off, dear, the woman suggested. Oh. Emma ran to the bathroom and came back. Sorry about that, the realtor said, embarrassed. How did you get here? Emma explained. I've lived here since we bought it. We divorced yesterday, and he promised to make life hell if I didn't sell cheap. The clients were appalled. So he was using us, the realtor said grimly. Let's go. Hang in there, miss." 3 hours later, Emma had the locks changed. The next day, she found David fuming on the landing, waiting for someone. She smirked, using her new keys. He followed her in, furious. "Why'd you change the locks without telling me? Why'd you list my home without telling me?" She shot back. Taken aback, he backed down. They eventually agreed, with a notary present, on a formal arrangement. Emma got the bedroom man small study. David got the living room man balcony room. Kitchen, bath, and hall were common areas. No lock changes without mutual consent. Tease lasted 2 days. She came home to find David's half crawling with prospective buyers led by a new, greasy, pushy realtor. On her pristine kitchen floor stood a woman in muddy boots, snooping in her pots and eating hem from her fridge. Gulping down tea from Emma's mug, she said, "You should wash your pots better, messy much." Red with rage, Emma yelled, "Get out, don't steal my food." "Realtor, you're paying for this. And you," she shooed the woman, "follow your herd." Shoo. Emma then went to the living room, flopped on the couch, and stared at the realtor, giggling manically, mimicking him. He realized this wasn't the pushover David described. "I'm thinking of selling my half to some Romani travelers," Emma announced. "Good price. What do you think?" The ham woman, hearing this, grabbed her meek companion and dragged him out. "Where are you going?" Emma cooed. The realtor shook his bony fist. "We'll see about this." After he left, Emma laughed until she cried, releasing her fear and hurt. But the constant stress wore her down. She couldn't relax, eat, or sleep, always waiting for the click of the lock. The final straw was her grandmother's broken vase, the one thing she'd kept from the antiques collection David made her sell. Coming home, she found the priceless Qing Dynasty vase shattered on the floor. Shaking with rage and grief, she called David. "Who broke my grandmother's vase? These are all the pieces. It's ruined." It was all I had left of her. David savored her pain. "It's just a vase. Big deal." Vanessa was looking at it and accidentally knocked it over. "Sorry. Life happens. But it's a family heirloom." "Oh, please, I'll buy you a new one. Stop whining." He hung up. Where would he find a priceless antique? It was clear. She had to sell her half or lose her mind. She called Mr. Evans, the realtor. He promised to help. She spent days hiding in her room while strangers trampled through her home. A few days later, Mr. Evans called with bad news. "I'll be blunt. You can't sell this apartment." David's realtor started a rumor that something terrible happened here. "No one will touch it. And if they do, the price will be a pittance." "I'm sorry." "Thank you, Mr. Evans. I knew he'd sabotage me. How much do I owe you?" "Nothing," he said, and hung up. Emma was defeated. The only person who could help was still angry at her. "Oh, Chloe," she thought, tears welling up, "I miss you so much." She had no idea Chloe had already saved her from a much bigger disaster with Mrs. Whitmore. That evening, David showed up with Vanessa. While Vanessa snooped and appraised things, David laid down his new plan. "I'm a practical guy. My half of this apartment should make money. So I'm renting my rooms to 2 guys. They're paying double because I'm not asking for ID. They move in 3 days." "But what if they're criminals?" Emma gasped. "Probably." David shrugged. "Got the deposit already. How am I supposed to live with 2 criminals? Not my problem. Unless," he smiled slyly, "unless you sell me your half and move out." He had her cornered. "Fine." Her voice cracked. "I'll sell." "Atta girl." He produced papers from his bag. "Sign here and here." When it was done, he stood to leave. "Oh, and the money? I'll transfer it tomorrow morning. Please be out in 3 days." He left, Vanessa in tow, stepping disdainfully on Emma's simple shoes by the door. "Ough, so tacky." "Let's go, honey." Emma stood there, humiliated and crushed. The next day at work, exhausted and tear-stained, she finally noticed the commotion. The office buzzed. Chloe was being fired for a disciplinary violation. Everyone knew it was Mrs. Whitmore's doing, but they were all too scared to speak up. "Sorry, Chloe," a coworker whispered. "I can't risk my mortgage." Others nodded. "It's not for me, it's for yourselves," Chloe said firmly. "How long will you let her bully you?" "I'm done." As Chloe packed her things, Emma snapped out of it. "Chloe, where are you going?" "Home." "Why'd?" Chloe looked at her friend's haggard face and knew something worse than being fired had happened. "I got fired." "What's going on with you? Spill." Emma, crying, told her everything. And you said nothing? Chloe exclaimed. You were mad at me. I thought it was forever. Not like this. I'm your friend, not your enemy. Look, don't do anything now. After work, pack a bag and come straight to my place. Understood? Emma nodded. Despite everything, Chloe was there for her. After Chloe left, colleagues told Emma how Chloe had saved her from Mrs. Whitmore's frame-up and been fired for it. Emma vowed to expose her boss. She had 3 days to pack. Standing in the living room, she looked at everything with new eyes. The decor, the furniture, it was all David's choice. She was right. It is tacky, Emma muttered, remembering Vanessa's words. Eager to leave, she got her old suitcase from the storage closet. It was the big yellow one her grandmother had bought her for beach trips as a girl. They'd always stay with Grandma's friend, Aunt Nina, who lived by the sea. Opening it, her heart clenched. Inside, a teddy bear with button eyes, a kaleidoscope, childhood photos, shells, old Christmas ornaments, and a postcard with a dolphin and a beau's handwriting. Emma, come back soon. I'll be waiting. Nick. Warm memories flooded back. Nick, the suntanned, barefoot beau with sun-bleached hair and freckles. Aunt Nina's grandson. Her first love. Seeing him made her heart race. He taught her to swim. Those were the days. 3 hours later, she was at Chloe's, who'd made her favorite raspberry pies. Smells just like Aunt Nina's, Emma exclaimed, telling her about the suitcase and the memories. It's summer, and you have vacation next week, Chloe said. Why not go visit Aunt Nina? I don't even know if she's alive. I don't have her number. I can't just show up. Check on her, Chloe insisted. She might need help. If not, get a hotel. Emma smiled. Chloe always knew how to distract her. David's money for her share was just enough for the trip and a rental apartment back home. If needed though, Chloe insisted she stay as long as she wanted. So Emma decided she was going south, back to her happiest memories. The little town hadn't changed. Same pier, same rose-filled square with the fountain. Miss, rent a room. Cheat. A man in a cap called. No thanks, staying with my aunt. She finally saw the familiar tiled roof. Even the gate was the same. She slipped the latch and entered the yard, heavy with ripe grapes. Dear, who are you looking for? I don't rent rooms, came a soft, warm voice from a window. Emma looked up and saw a plump, white-haired woman with kind, wrinkled eyes. Aunt Nina, it's me, Emma, Grandma Rita's granddaughter. Do you remember me? The woman's face lit up with joy. Goodness, I thought you looked familiar. That same sweet little nose, those eyes like my dear friend. Rest her soul. Come in, dear. I'm not a girl anymore. I'm 30. Emma laughed. Still a girl to me, sweetheart. Aunt Nina bustled out and wrapped Emma in a tight, warm hug. Emma finally felt what she'd been missing. Family. The dam broke, and she sobbed, all the pain and loneliness pouring out. Aunt Nina just held her, stroking her hair, letting her cry. She knew her girl had come to heal. Inside, nothing had changed. Same sturdy furniture, same dollies. Remember you two rascals playing, and me chasing you with a broom. Aunt Nina chuckled, then grew sad. Now everyone's gone, off to foreign lands. Time flies, and my dear friend is gone. She sat on the old sofa, wiping her eyes. Emma saw not the lively woman she remembered, but a tired, lonely old lady. She sat and hugged her. Can I come visit every vacation? All holidays. This suitcase I remember. Aunt Nina sniffled. Nick's supposed to visit soon. He's the one who went abroad. Built businesses over there. 3 whole companies. Like he doesn't have enough here. I'd rather have great-grandkids to cuddle. Emma laughed. What am I doing? You just got here. Probably starving. Aunt Nina clucked, bustling to the kitchen. The resentment and hardship seemed to melt away. Emma felt light, as if the last 18 years hadn't happened. A simple meal of mashed potatoes, a cutlet, and pie with cold milk was all she needed. Then sleep on the soft feather bed. This is happiness, she thought, sleeping soundly for the first time in ages. She woke to the sound of waves. Morning, early bird. Aunt Nina smiled, placing a stack of pancakes before her with sour cream and jam. Emma dug in, waving a mental goodbye to her diet. She spent the day by the sea. Aunt Nina wouldn't let her swim the first day due to wind and waves. The next day, the storm subsided slightly, but few dared to swim. I'll spend my whole vacation on the shore, Emma sighed. Deciding to risk it, she ran into the warm water. It felt amazing. She swam out a bit, confident because she could see the bottom. Suddenly, someone yelled from the shore, "Dig wave! Get out!" Emma turned and froze. A wall of dark water was bearing down. She swam, but it was too late. The wave slammed her, tumbling her underwater, dragging her out. "Don't panic," she told herself, fighting the current, but she was losing. Fear of the deep, exhaustion, she started to drown. She surfaced, raised her hand, and gasped, "Help! The four going under again. Someone's drowning." Over there, a child's voice called, muffled, lungs burning, strength gone. "So this is it," she thought. Then, a hand grabbed her hair and pulled her up. "Breathe," a male voice commanded. He dragged her to shore, where she collapsed, vomiting seawater. "Drink." A hand offered a water bottle. Too weak to argue, she drank. Feeling better, she turned to her rescuer, a young man, water dripping from his clothes. "Thank you." "You're welcome." "Who swims in a storm?" "I thought I could." "I'm Emma." The man froze, looking at her intently. "Samolova," she hiccuped, eyes wide. "Was. How do you know?" "Who are you?" He laughed. "Girls have short memories." "Hey there, Froggy." She stood, staring, then recognition dawned. "Nick." She hugged her childhood friend. "Let's go home," he said. "Grandma sent me the minute I arrived." She had a feeling. On the walk back, Emma told him everything. 3 weeks flew by. Old feelings reignited for Emma, and Nick felt the same. He asked her to stay, or come with him, and be his right hand in one of his companies. Sadly, she refused. "I love you, Nick, but I can't leave Chloe. She got fired because of me. I have to expose that horrible boss. They're stealing from the company, and the old owner is too trusting." "All right, go. But don't be surprised later." "At what?" "You'll see. We'll meet again." "I'd be happy." She smiled, burying her face in his shirt. The plane flew her back, but she was no longer afraid. The anger and hurt were gone, replaced by love. Back at work, the atmosphere was tense. Mrs. Whitmore was dressed to the nines. The owner was coming. Wide. Then he appeared. "Friends, I'm tired. I'm stepping down. The company now belongs to a worthy new leader. Please welcome Nick Ryabinin." The ground seemed to shift under Emma. There he was, her Nick. She gaped as he approached. "Dear colleagues, allow me to introduce your new director, Emma Nikitikna." She saw the stunned faces, the panicked looks between Mrs. Whitmore and her husband. Everything clicked into place. Emma smiled at Nick. "Your first order, director," he said. And Emma did what the whole office secretly wished. She walked to her old boss and her husband and said firmly, "You're both fired." She appointed Chloe as the new head. Within months, the company thrived, and salaries rose. 6 months later, Emma and Nick had a huge company wedding. Nick's wedding gift was buying back her grandmother's house. They moved in, bringing Aunt Nina with them. 2 years later, on a warm evening, there was a knock at the door. Nick answered. It was David Haggard, unshaven, in a worn tracksuit, looking pathetic. "Can I speak to my wife?" he asked. "Your wife isn't here." "Only mine," Nick replied, recognizing him. "Honey, who is it?" "Did the milk come?" Emma called, holding their curly-haired 1-year-old. She froze, seeing David. "Vanessa left me, took all the money and ran," he blurted. "You look happy." "I'm sorry. I forgave you long ago," Emma said quietly. Nick scowled at the uninvited guest. David, sensing he wasn't welcome, turned and walked.